Good afternoon. Welcome to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting. I'd like to first of all ask if there's any disclosure of pecuniary interest around the group. Sir? Anybody? Nope. Okay. I need a mover and a seconder for the approval of the agenda for May 28th. Anybody? Mayor Harrison, Councillor Reid. Any questions, discussion? All in favor? Boom. I need a mover and a seconder for the approval of the minutes for the January 22nd, 2026 Parks and Recreation Advisory meeting. Anybody? First mover? Okay. And seconder? Shelley Stadall. Brian, right? Yep. That's right. Any discussion down the road? Nothing? Okay. All in favor? We're good. No, do we have delegations? No delegations? Do we have public input? Anybody here for public input?
Well, I'm not sure if it's the
right here. Just step to the podium, say your name, where you're from, and you have 3 minutes to get your point across.
Louise Maziarski, I'm from Trenton.
Yep.
And as I said, I'm not sure if it's the right forum for this. I know there's a survey that's been done on the Hannah Park situation. My concern was about the if there's any consideration given to improve the cross-country ski trails in the area. I know we've talked about it before. Yep. I've also put the input into the survey, so if it's going to be addressed at that point, that's fine. We can just wait to see. Or if there's anything right now, if the council has been considering improving the cross-country ski trail, not only at Hannah Park, but as I suggested, maybe a joint venture with the local golf course, which is sitting idle all winter. It's a waste of land as far as I'm concerned, so maybe there could be something done with them. I just throwing the idea out there to see if we can add more facilities to the skiers. And okay. That's all.
Could we, anything to comment on that, Director Grimmin? You're involved with the survey.
Thank you, through Mr. Chair. Yes, thank you for attending. The resident and I have had some discussions on her particular interest in cross-country skiing and more specifically for Hannah Park. And so we had, directed that there would be a survey that the city would be putting out to kind of solicit for feedback on what improvements they would like to see for Hannah Park. We got a wonderful and overwhelming response to that survey, so we are just kind of diving through all the data that's come back, and certainly a lot of comment feedback, so we will be bringing that back to a future meeting. In the meantime, also kind of taking some of that offline, because we committed to the community to bring back some design concepts for Hannah Park that the community can kind of like really look at and see what might be possible for the future development at that site, and then that would help us bring back a report to council in future to see what budget needs might be needed to move a project forward there. So lots of things certainly within that survey that were considered. There was talks about trails and people's interest in trail improvements, pickleball, tennis. There's obviously playground structures and some other recreation amenities on that site, a very active dog park. So, lots of things to consider. And then obviously wanting to marry that up with any of the recommendations that came out of the 15-year Parks and Recreation Master Plan. So, we heard a lot at that time from the community about, additions of shade structures and seating and lighting and splash pads and all these different things. So, we're going to take that feedback and bring that back in a digestible format at the next meeting, and certainly appreciate you're providing feedback through that.
For historical purposes, I know that I've only been here since 1994, but my friend Sylvia has been here for a long time, and she says at one point they were grooming the trail for cross-country skiing at Hannah Park. So it was done in the past. I know this is obviously weather dependent. If there's no snow, there's no skiing, but it goes for skating at Batawa, for example. If there's no ice, you don't, So anyway, as long as it's in the works and hopefully it's not just a dream. I know that, again, we're weather dependent, but I'm hoping that there's enough interest that we could have it.
Thank you. Is there any timeline on your when you're going to make a presentation at all, or a?
We will have, through Mr. Chair, a further report on the July 23rd meeting of this committee.
Any other public input? None. Correspondence. We had a letter come in yesterday and today, type of thing. Would you like to speak to this, Keely? No?
Can speak to a little bit. I just read the header, didn't have time to review it all. Talked to Director Tracy this morning. He's on vacation for about 5-10 minutes about it. Looks like he made this request, I believe, last year as well, about leaving Field 1 lights on in the evening until about 11 p.m. There's further discussion I'd like to have with my director when he comes back, gather some more information and see his thoughts on it. It is a rentable area, and we are pretty well booked on our Field 1 throughout the summer. And currently, we only have 2 fields for soccer fields with lighting, Bain and Field 1. With that, but it's something definitely we'll look at, and I'll talk to Director Tracy when he returns next week about it.
So do we put a motion on the floor to accept this as information? Do we have a mover? Councillor Reid, Mayor Harrison, any discussion on that, or is there discussion? No? Okay, all in favor of tabling that? Thank you. Now we turn the meeting over, items for committee's consideration, to Director Grimmin on the Frankfurt Tourist Park camping resolution. Staff Report 26-005CS regarding Frankfurt Tourist Park camping to be received as information. Would you like to continue?
Thank you, through Mr. Chair. This is a follow-up report to a request made at the last meeting of this committee, more specifically around the camping. Currently, we offer only seasonal trailer camping at the Frankfurt Tourist Park. There was interest from the committee for monthly trailer camping, if I can get that correct. And so this is just a little bit more information for the committee's consideration. Currently, the park is open for the season. We've had some inquiries, but very light. We currently have 3 seasonal campsites occupied for the season. Like I said, with some other minor inquiries, but certainly have not really had any other interest in camping at that particular site.
Any questions? Councillor Reid?
Thank you very much for the report, Director Grimmin. I think that because we are down to having 3 seasonals, there is lots of opportunity, and I know of 4 people that are very interested in camper trailer for like a weekend or a week, possibly a month. They've been asking for a couple of years, and since now we have it, seems to be difficult to keep people there, and you and I know the reason why, that I would like to make a motion that we have transient trailer camping, where we reinstate the fees, update the booking system, and figure out how to make this work, because I think there's a potential for more income to come into the park. And certainly not last minute. They would have to book through the city, the same as they do for seasonal camping. But I would like to make that motion to bring forward transient trailer camping on a daily, weekly, weekend position or availability. There's lots of sites available. There's only 3 in there.
Do we have a seconder for that? Councillor Stedall? Discussion? Any questions on that one? Yes, Councillor.
I think that is a great idea. I think it's feasible. I do think that would bring more economic upturn to the community as well if we do have if we open it up. And maybe there are only 3 or 4 people that are interested at this point in time, not full-time, but for the transitional. But I think word of mouth will start to spread, and we may end up with a full campsite then, so it makes sense. I don't know if staff has any concerns about this besides the cost and the additional staffing required to look after it?
Could you go on about the staffing requirement possibly if this type of thing, or what do you foresee?
Yeah, thank you, through Mr. Chair. Yeah, I think I'd need to get a bit more understanding of the committee's intention, because I think at the last meeting, we had talked about, some of the challenges around turning over campsites daily or even, by the weekend, and, the lift that would be required, especially without having, any staff on site. So I know when we left that last meeting, the understanding was that we were bringing back a report to consider monthly. That was the direction from the committee. Now I'm hearing something a little bit different, that, you would be looking at daily or weekly, different than the monthly. So just looking for a bit more direction and understanding from the committee, and whether that intention would be to start that in 2026. So obviously, we would need a bit of time to work out the kinks in the booking system to get those things established. That doesn't necessarily take a lot of time. The report also addresses the fact that there aren't fees currently associated with monthly transient camping, so there would be an amendment required to the fees and charges bylaw that we would have to bring back to a future meeting of council. So there is some time that we would need to bake in to make those next steps so that we could permit any type of transient camping. So I just want to make the committee aware of a few of those different considerations, certainly not saying it can't be done. Yeah, I think we did, as we outlined in some previous reports, deal with some issues previously with transient camping. I know that was more tent-style camping than trailer camping. So I think, the expectation would be a little bit different, or we would expect potentially better behavior. But yeah, I just do want to, caution the committee about a few of those considerations where we don't necessarily have all the control. If someone books in and is late coming down the highway on a Friday night, who's meeting them at the park to hand over a pass or to get them set up at their site with a permit. There's some considerations that I think are outlined in the report.
Well, any other questions, sir? Well, a lot of it could be on your phone, correct? Like your pass is on my phone. I don't need a physical pass to be handed. When I book, it's given to me digitally. And then to get through the gate, I guess there'd be a fob number. I don't need the actual fob, I don't believe. If I had a code, I could pop through, right? So that would take care of that. I've sort of rethought this a bit about the idea of, let's say some relatives are traveling and they're stopping for a couple of days, they've got a camper unit. That would be nice if they could stay there, that kind of thing. Is there anything in here restricting tenting? I guess that's the question. That seems to be the problem with.
Yeah, there was previous direction to move away from tent camping,
Right.
just given all
Right.
the issues that we did have a number of years ago. So that had kind of been sunset, yeah.
So basically it's 1 day to a week to a month to a seasonal. So that's sort of the breakdown in a sense, or 2 days. Daily, weekly, monthly, seasonal, those four categories, correct? That's how it would be set up if this motion, or am I wrong on that?
No, that's fine, but it makes total sense, and maybe we need to address it as being a weekend or a week and a month, So it's not the whole season, but whatever works the easiest for staffing, like maybe a week, month, or seasonal. Let's not start off with having too much, because listening to all of this, I'm thinking, yeah, that's kind of hard when you don't have. Now, the canteen operator, perhaps he's there from 11 until 7 every day. Maybe something could be worked out with him. He seems to be a very approachable person to maybe help with that. There's people in there every day to the park picking up the garbage. They're also in there every day cleaning the washrooms. So let's utilize that staff as well, rather than adding extra staff. If I'm driving the garbage truck and I drive through and I see a trailer, I know that there's 3 people that are seasonal. Oh, goodness sakes, there's somebody new on site number 8. But if they've got something as simple as a pink card stuck in the front of their trailer, that tells me that they're supposed to be there, or I can quickly call back into City Hall and say, there's someone on site 8, are they to be here? Yes or no? You know, and I don't think that anybody's going to come in unless they've got permission to come in, because there has been no issues with anybody coming in at all in several years.
Councillor Kotzfuss?
Thank you. Are our numbers perhaps low because our rates are too high? In the report, it states that it's anywhere between 1,000 and 1,800 in surrounding areas. And ours is quite a bit more substantial. If we lowered our price, we may see more visitors. My concern is it's easy enough to go 15 minutes east or west to save a couple $100. It's not out of their way. It's not like you're asking them to drive a couple hours to save that money. They can just take a short drive down the road.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, I'm not trying to put a damper on this, but if you can control camping right on Front Street, Water Street, just up from the main drag, there's some tents on the water. Yes.
That's the encampment.
How do you, we can do nothing. That's my concern with, I mean, Keely's going to do his best. And that's the unfortunate part. A few people ruin a good thing. And that's what we're dealt with here right now, is that the tents are getting more and more, and it's most difficult for us to deal or do anything about it. And most of the people in those tents are homeless. So, yes, we're going to cover it and handle it. But that's why I'm saying in any camping, we got to make sure we got all our T's crossed and all our I's dotted, to make sure that we don't give Keely or somebody else something more to deal with than he can deal with. That's my concern. So,
Councillor Reid?
Tenting is not allowed. It's only trailers. So therefore, that eliminates that whole episode of that.
Councillor Reid, that's my point, though. We could do the same thing, but how do you control that? Can you control that? That's my question. If we can, fine.
Is it because, well, we're talking 2 different types of property, aren't we, because of that?
Well,
This is
Yes.
a commercial operation run by the city, I guess. Or the other one is just open land.
I know, and this is commercial, but let's say, okay, Group A comes in, Group B comes in, and they decide that they're gonna stay for a month, and they don't pay. What can we do?
That's where the pre-booking is that's part of, you have to pay to book.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
That doesn't control all of us.
Okay. I see where you're going with, but my argument would be there's 2 different types of properties here. This is a commercial operation where you would have the right to, I believe, you cannot be here.
We own them both.
No, we don't own along the Trent, we can't touch them out here. We don't own that. Yep, fire away.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. Just to address some of Mayor Harrison's comments. The tourist park, more recently, within the last year, we have moved to a more controlled access site there. So obviously, not only is there the seasonal campground, but there's also a boat launch. And so there was a new access gate that was installed last year. Obviously, I know that you can, work around or skirt around a gate, but certainly that is a deterrent to, kind of provide a bit of a barrier that you either have access to be beyond that point, whether you're a camper or whether you're using the boat launch. We do maintain that open access for the hours which people would be accessing the boat launch, but then after hours, that is closed. So, you know, you do need an access card to be able to get in and camp at that site. So, as much safeguards as we can put in place. We also have an active canteen that's in operation there. So while they don't provide, you know, on-site surveillance, there is, you know, eyes on the park, and certainly, as some of the councillors mentioned, staff in and out of that park performing maintenance on a regular basis. So just happy to you know, receive any further direction that the committee might have that can help myself and Mr. Byron just determine what the next steps are.
Councillor Stadel?
Just following up on what Councillor Kotsolis was saying in regards to the pricing being too high, maybe we have some sort of incremental pricing so that if you book for a month, it's, you know, instead of being, I think you've got 1984 here, if instead of it being that, is that it caps out at $1,800. But I do like the higher pricing for the daily rentals. I think that gets away from the, you know, people that want to come in for tents and things like that, or just the 1 days. I think you want people to come in for longer periods. So if you can have pricing that is incremental and gives you, the longer you rent, the better the discount you might get, that might stop the turnover and make it a little bit easier on staff accessing the staff.
Councillor Boyce?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I certainly agree with Councillor Stedel on that. And I think, I mean, there's a lot of hypotheticals, what ifs, but unless we actually try it, we're not going to know. So it's not something that's carved in stone that if we try it this year, we have to try it for the next 10 years. Let's try it this year and see what happens. And, you know, I'm hopeful that it does work and that we do see extra revenue from the transient campers. So I'll be voting in support.
Councillor Kotz?
Thank you. I was waiting for my question to be answered. It hasn't really. I would agree with Councillor Stedel on the daily rate staying the same. My point earlier was the monthly rate. They're not getting a break, and to be under that 1,800, even if we went to $55, something like that, and the seniors 49. And I encourage the seniors to be lower because they're looking for activities to stay healthy and things like that. So if we price them out of wanting to even come out and camp, I don't want to set that kind of deterrent. I'd rather set their price a little lower as well, and maybe they buy a monthly pass and get out.
Any other inputs? Councillor Reid, sorry.
Do you hear from the 3 people that have come back this year, do you hear any complaints about the pricing, or is that another issue?
Through the chair to Councillor Reid, my recollection is only one of the 3 seasonal campers is a returning, 2 are new. So I haven't received any feedback in terms of the fee structure being too high.
Okay, so it seems like it's probably very reasonable, perhaps, if that's the case. And I think Director Grimman, Mr. Byron, and I know of some issues that people are not coming back for that reason. But I just think we need to open it up to have some people in there, and that was my reasoning behind that. So thank you very much.
Councillor Stedel?
I'm just wondering about how we expedite this, because it is pretty much summer. And how do we do that when our next meeting may be in a few months?
July.
If we want to get started, can we make a motion that this goes to a staff report to council so that that gets expedited a little bit faster?
Councillor Grimman? Director Grimman, I didn't give you a raise, sorry.
Thank you.
Or a demotion, whichever way you want to look at it, I'm not sure.
Through Mr. Chair to Councillor Stedel, yes, that would make the most sense that we push this through to council. If this is something we're moving forward, we would have to bring an amendment to the fees and charges bylaw. So let's just do that all at once. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yep.
I think the last time we had talked that the area was kind of under the purview of Parks Canada. Have we talked to Parks Canada about possibly opening this up as an option?
Through Mr. Chair to the member, we have reached out to Parks Canada. We did not hear back prior to today's meeting, so we'll continue to reach out. Originally, when we did set up the arrangement for the campground to start, they were very supportive of transient camping in general. So we certainly don't see any issue with that. But again, kind of want to get their blessing, just given the agreement that we have with them for that site.
I have one question about if I had a seasonal site and I have a visitor, sons and daughters, whatever, show up, can they stay there, or do they have to leave at the end of the business day kind of thing? Or set up, they can't set up a tent with them.
Through Mr. Chair, I don't have the terms and conditions, one of the many tabs open right now, but yes, there were provisions within the rentals that extend to the permit holders to allow friends and family the opportunity to camp at a site, should it be available, or on their particular site. Obviously not for an extended period of time, but if they're coming in for the evening, there are some provisions that allow them to do that, and they can be in contact with staff to make those arrangements.
But they can set up a tent. I thought that's what you just said.
I would have to double check.
temporary, yeah,
I would have to double check on that. I don't want to say one way or another because I don't have those terms in front of me right now.
'Cause then
I can certainly follow up
Friends
with
of
you.
friends of friends sort of things, all of a sudden snowballs into an Airbnb situation.
Yep.
Right? We don't want that. Okay. So should we call for a vote on the motion? All in favor? Oh, could you read the motion?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the motion would be read as that staff report 26005CS regarding Frankfurt Tourist Park camping be received as information, and that the Parks and Rec Advisory Committee recommend the implementation of transient camping fee for daily and weekend camping at Frankfurt Tourist Park, and further that staff be directed to prepare a staff report to be presented to council for approval.
Our next council?
Could we make that as ASAP so that we could utilize the
this
summer
committee-
camping 2026?
What I can share with you is that June 3rd council agenda is complete, so the next council agenda will be June 17th at the earliest.
Yeah, would that work for you?
Through the chair, I can make it work.
Thank you.
Mayor Harrison?
Well, this committee's got the power. You make the decision, and council very seldom ever changes it. So you've got all the information, you've got everything to look at, and if this is what you want to do, do it. That's it.
Without a staff report?
Well, right now, I think you've got all the people here to tell you everything you
Right.
need to know. And if our Byron Keeley can look after it, I'm good.
Director Grimman, thoughts? Or
Through you,
Keely.
Chair Armstrong, the legislation requires us to be approved by council.
Yeah.
This is only an advisory
Yep.
committee, so therefore it would require council full approval through minute approval or through a separate staff report. I believe, with speaking with Director Grimman, it probably will require a staff report because of the added information that's needed.
But it can't make it to the next council meetings, two
June.
council meetings.
But, okay, you're going by some kind of legal, count the number of counselors right here.
We don't have quorum for council, I don't believe.
We can't have quorum.
No, and we can't, this is an advisory committee meeting and not a council meeting, so we have to
I
follow.
understand that, but we've got right now 5 of us who support this motion.
That's
Okay?
correct.
To support what you're trying to do, or 6 of us, sorry, maybe I missed one. 6 of us, so, I'm good with it. I think that this is, we can put it through as a pilot project if you want, whatever way we can do it, because the longer we wait, the less opportunity we have and the less likely it's going to work, so.
I'm just going back to the clerk.
As clerk, if you can leave that with me under the mayor's powers, I'm not sure if this is something that you can push through as suggested. So if you can leave it with staff to get back to everyone on this, we can certainly proceed in carrying the motion, and should it go to council or proceed otherwise, if staff can have some time just to confirm.
One more question or two.
Sorry, just with the timing, so if we went to the council meeting, that was June 17th, the kids are still in school, so we'd still be hitting most of the summer, but it's just-
Seniors, though, are already out of
Oh,
school.
the seniors, yeah, well, they'll camp in March.
Why can't we put it through as a pilot program? There's gotta be a way, Mr. Mayor, or
Well-
Mr. Chairman, there's gotta be a
Well,
way.
Well, according to, you have the power yourself possibly to do that. You know, you could, to make it, the question, I guess, is, can this come to the next council meeting next Wednesday for a vote? Which would be, boom,
If I can take it as strong mayor, I'll take it, if that's the way you wanna do it.
to have it at next council meeting. Versus, okay, Councillor Stedel,
I don't think it's a strong mayor item, I don't think so,
No.
but anyway,
No,
it's
no.
good, go defer back to the clerk's department, I think, is the best plan, and if we can get it on an agenda sooner than later, that's great, but
Agreed.
Mr. Whitney.
Just one point, when you read the motion, you said daily, weekend, but not weekly. You went daily, weekend, monthly? Is the motion a weekly thing as well?
I understood that a motion was already within the report a weekly, is that not correct? No, so it needs to be amended to read weekly, daily and weekly, not weekend.
Yeah. I think you meant weekly versus weekend. Maybe I'm wrong.
I will amend.
I just want to know what I'm voting on.
Daily would cover weekend, in the sense of 1 day, 2 days, 3
So we
days.
want weekly,
Daily, weekly, monthly,
noted,
seasonal,
noted, thank you.
correct? Okay, that's what I said at the start. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And that's trailer only, not tent,
Trailer,
right?
trailer only.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? Are we happy? Any more questions? All in favor? Passed unanimous. Director Brimman has a report on Parks and Recreation Month marketing campaign.
Thank you, through Mr. Chair. This comes as follow-up to a previous request through the committee. I think Councillor Boyce kind of initiated this conversation with me. Every year, the Parks and Recreation Ontario and the Canadian Parks and Recreation Association promote June as Parks and Recreation Month. We certainly jump on to that bandwagon as well. Lots of great things to promote, so you will start to see some communications rolling out throughout June that promote various, parks and recreation initiatives, programs, and facilities around the city throughout June. I don't want to give too much of a spoiler alert before all those different communications pieces go live, but certainly information about some of the existing programs that we have right now that have just got up and going for the season. So lots of events to look forward to throughout the course of the warm weather season. We've got the pop-ups now open. Pickleball starting in the coming days at both the Trenton and Frankfurt arenas, indoor locations. We've got park facilities open, splash pads. We have great, partners here at the Quinte West Public Library who've got an excellent lending library program with some really great, parks and recreation themed elements that people can take out and loan from the library and help make the community healthier, more active, and certainly promote, citizen and community wellness. So you will start to see a lot of that messaging going out. reminding people about the great parks and conservation areas and the trails that we have access to in our communities. So really the whole theme around it is encouraging people to get out and be active, explore what the community has to offer. Those things don't need to cost any money. We've got a great community with great amenities at our fingertips here. So it's nice to get out and explore, and sometimes it's great to remind the community of what's here and where they can find it. So we'll be sending the community back through links in those different communications to either our website that has more details on any of those different programs and services, or again to the public library, who might be offering those different lending library items or programs. So stay tuned across the city's channels, on the website, on our social channels, through media releases, and as well, if you follow us along and subscribe to the city's newsletter, you'll see some more information coming out throughout the course of June.
Questions? Doom, 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 doom. So it's a little bit like participation in some piece of it.
Through Mr. Chair, yeah, participation is certainly a big part of what Parks and Recreation Ontario promote. They've also got some great studies and findings in terms of different communities' activity levels and activity levels across the province, and tying those into the broader conversation and picture around the health of a community and the draw that a community has on the medical systems that we either have or might be lacking in some areas. I know it's tough to get into doctors, and we don't want people ending up in our hospitals if they don't need to. So certainly the more healthy and active we can keep the community, the better.
With the World Cup happening, is there any tie to that at all with your ideas? Letting out the cat out of the...
Through Mr. Chair, a little bit, yes. More to come. The events team has been working on some great synergies, and we saw through the hosting of the Canada Soccer Toyota National event back in 2025, all the excitement in the community around soccer, and obviously with the FIFA World Cup here this year in Canada. Yes, there will be some soccer-related theme events and activities going on, so stay tuned for more details through our city channels.
Any other questions? Anybody? No, sir. So we have a motion. We need a motion to accept this for information. I have a mover. Councillor Reid. Councillor Boyce. Any discussion? All in favor? Passed. Accepted. Okay, go around the loop. Any new business to bring up, sir? Nothing? Mr. Mayor? Okay. I'm trying to think myself. Councillor Stedall?
Just a question. The Colonial Park, there's, my understanding, there's some rumor that there's going to be some work that's going on there, that there was some play structures that were put in, and there was some things that were removed, and there could be some trees. Can you just clarify that so I can tell the neighbors?
Last year we did revitalization of the playground equipment at Colonial Park. Equipment price increase, so we got a lot less equipment than we normally did, and that's the budget that the Parks Department had to work with to put that replacement in. Trees will be going in. New equipment would have to be a capital budget idea, and I've talked to a few neighbors, talked to another councillor, met on site. That's something we'll look at in the fall if council decides to add more equipment to that area. It is age appropriate for the area. It's just what we received with the funding we had that year for replacement. But trees will go in. Definitely it will replace because we took some out. As for equipment wise and playground equipment, that's just to be determined in next year's budget for capital.
No, that's very helpful. And it was the trees, I think, it was the shade from that park that was a big issue, and so it's nice to hear there's going to be something. It probably won't be quite as big as those old ones that came out, but at least if there's something, that'll be helpful. Okay, good, that's great.
What variety are you planting?
We usually go with a maple right? Something local, so it's Ontario. No willows.
That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you.
Councillor Reid,
Thank you.
do you have any pails left?
No, I have one pail, if anyone wants it, but no shovel to go with it. I don't know what happened there.
That was from the,
From the sand, from Riverfest and handing out the pails and
Okay.
shovels, yes. It was a big hit, and it was fun to see
It was.
all the kids and their parents playing in the sand, and
yep,
we-
Very well done.
It was great, so, no, only one pail if anybody wants it.
Ron? You don't want a pail? You don't want a pail? No, I don't. Okay. Couple things. First of all, you guys are doing a great job on our parks. Last night I was at the soccer fields and it was just outstanding. Everything looks fantastic. They're cutting out a lot of cutting because of the weather, but we're cutting out at the museum, the same problem. Dandelions just keep popping up. But no, the fields were great and the families were out last night and soccer was just kicking right off. I haven't seen the baseball yet. Is it? It started.
Baseball started, yeah.
Those fields aren't, like the infields aren't mucky or anything like that?
A few nights they were. We can't just
Yeah.
cancel, I think, 1 or 2 games so
That's-
far this year due to it. So.
Okay.
But thank you. I'll pass it along to staff.
No, great job. Just a plug for the Quinte West Youth Center. They're hosting a Glow Golf Tournament. August 27th is a fundraiser. So they'll be setting out a promotion for foursomes to sign up, but it should be fun with, playing at night with glow balls. What's that? I'm working well in the dark myself. Anybody else? Councillor Kotsavos, anything? How was Italy? Very good. He just got back.
Nice trip, yeah. Nice family trip.
Yeah, very nice. Councillor Boyce, big pickleball tournament
just,
tomorrow?
Yeah, a big weekend this weekend in the Quinte area that will have a lot of people coming from out of town. But I do have a question. It was asked of me the other day. The progress on our trail from Bain Park down to the Centennial Park. Can anyone update what's happening there?
Keely?
Mid-June, I believe the contract is supposed to start the early work to walk the site. So that's all I have for you, Councillor Boyce, is that mid-June they're going to start. Then after that, they're going to get full-fledged into it. So.
Okay.
Perfect.
Exact date I
A lot-
don't have right now, so.
Right. A lot of people are excited about that trail.
Yeah, I do know they wanted to start some of the smaller stuff second week of June, I believe it was, but that's all I have.
Okay.
On another point related to the redirection of traffic because of the second Doug Hill development or construction, there are parks along there. The old Larry Park, for example. And I talked to the Director of Public Works about traffic calming measures to help prevent situations with kids and babies and strollers and stuff like that. And I think they're going to be looking at some speed humps and some digital signage to say, you're speeding. And then I've been told that the police have been out there diligently, doing their job. Okay? Anything else? Oh, sorry.
Just mentioned for information, in June is the CFP Trenton Surf and Turf.
Oh, yes.
So that'll be happening, I think it's the 18th. Yeah, just for
Are you
info.
barbecuing?
Maybe, probably at Baker's Island.
Okay, Baker's Island. Okay. So, no other business. We need 2 for adjournment. Mayor Harrison, Councillor Reid, all in favor? Passed. Have a great day.